Guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Aijay. I do beauty and lifestyle videos. So last week I started a makeup for beginners series, and last week I covered the base. So basically I did foundation application, highlighting and contouring, skin work pretty much. So if you haven't seen that video yet, be sure to click somewhere on the screen. I'm going to have a card pop up on the screen somewhere. So in today's video I'm going to be continuing that series, and today we're going to be talking all about the brows. So I'm going to be doing this video a do's and don'ts style. So I'm going to be doing the do's on this side of my face and the don't on this side of my face. So I'm just going to be showing you how to do your brows and how not to do your brows basically. If you're interested in seeing the do's and the don'ts of eyebrow application, well, let's get started. Back. So I'm going to start off this video by showing you the products that you need. First and foremost, the most important thing that you need, eyebrow pencil. Obviously you can use eyebrow pencils or brow pomades, or you can use eyebrow shadows, whatever works for you. But for beginners, I would recommend you use eyebrow pencils. They're a lot easier to work with. So the next thing you need is your brushes. Three types of brushes that you're going to need. You need a spoolie, and you need the spoolie to just brush your brow hairs into place. Sometimes your eyebrow pencil can have a spoolie underneath it, just like this one from the BEAUTYLINE by DIDI. It has a spoolie underneath it. The other half has the roll-up pencil, and the other side has the spoolie, so you just go back and forth between the two of them. But if your pencil doesn't have a spoolie, it's okay, you can just get an external spoolie. You need a concealer brush, which looks like that. It's a flat brush. You can also use this kind of brush, which is an angled brush, usually the kind underneath your spoolie. There are some that usually stand alone as well, just like this one, something like this. The last type of brush that you need is a dense blending brush. Sorry, this is more dense than the blending brush that you use for eyeshadow application. This one is sort of like packed together, and what this does is that it helps you to blend the concealer. Now the next item after brushes, so we've talked about brow product of your choice, now we've talked about the brushes that you need. Now the last step is going to be concealer. Now you want to highlight your brows to make it stand out. So when you do draw your brows, you still want to conceal your brows with concealer. I advise that you use a concealer that is just 1 or 2 shades, preferably 1 shade lighter than your foundation shade to highlight. So before I start, I'm going to take loose powder, and I'm going to just pat that here, just so that the pencil glides easily when I start drawing and it's more visible. So you can use any powder of your choice. Any loose powder you have for setting your concealer would do great, and even if it's your regular face powder you decide to use, just like the Milani one I used to set the rest of my face, that would also be fine. Okay, so I'm just going to outline the bottom of my brows now. Another way for you to gauge your brows is when you put your pencil in the inner corner of your eye, you can mark a point here. When you look straight, your eyeball, the end of the eyeball, that's usually where your arch is. If you mark a point here, that's where you would have to, like, you know, create your arch. And then on the nose this way, the nose, the back of your eye, like that, put the pencil again and mark the spot. Even with the lights, can you see it? So 3 points, 1, 2 and 3. So now I'm going to outline the top part of my brows as well, and I'm just going to brush my brow hair down. So now I'm going to brush the hair back into place. So wherever you see like spaces, just try to like fill up those spaces. And as you're doing this, you're following the direction of your hair. So the front part of my brows, I'm going to try and imitate hairlines. Go in like tiny strokes. So now that's for the do's part of the brows. Try and make the sketching as good as possible. That way you have less work to do when it's time to conceal. When you get a perfect sketch, concealer just imitates whatever you have there already. Just cleans up the edges to make it crisp. Not trying to now shape it, because that's where it gets really messy. On the don't part of the face, I didn't apply any powder here, and I'm going to be taking a different pencil. This is the MABROOK eyebrow pencil in the shade brown. I'm sure we're in the millennium where nobody draws their brows with black pencil. Don't do that. Don't. Emma Shibe. This type of pencil is not for eye. It's not for eyebrow. It's not for eyebrow. Emma for eyebrow. Just for your waterline or whatever, eyeliner or anything else. I'm not going to brush my brows with the spoolie. I'm just going to wing it. I'm not even going to try and measure where my arc is. I'm just going to draw whatever it is I want to draw, because yeah, I'm going to fill this in, and I'm not going to fill it in, you know, the way I fill this one in. So it's not going, I'm going to just shade. So yeah, that's something you don't want to do. The front is not it. This is a no. So now to conceal my brows, I'm going to be using concealer from Gele Pro Conceal in the shade Chestnut. And I'm going to be using that on the do's part of my face. On the don'ts part of my face, I'm going to be using the Gele Pro Concealer in the shade Fawn. Just for references, I'm going to swatch the two shades on my hand just so that you can see what I'm talking about. So this is Chestnut and this is Fawn. So you want to make sure that the concealer you're using is not too far off from your foundation shade. Like I mentioned earlier, you want to outline, you just want to trace what you've done with your sketch. Don't try to create a new shape. The shape that is here is what we're going to try to emphasize. I use the tip of the brush to define the brows with the product, with the concealer. So now I'm going to use the flat side of the brush to spread the concealer. Staying away from the edge of that brow as much as you can, and then blend. Okay, so just tap and spread, tap and spread, tap and spread. If while blending you sort of like, you know, run over your sketched brow with the brush, you can always go back into the pencil and neaten the edges. Now for the don't part of the face, I already shifted for you, Jose, like I moved. I'm going to be using the Gele in Fawn. So I have that at the back of my hand already, so I'm just going to dip the brush into that. As you can see, this is light, man. This is just too bright. Like we black. This is just too much. Also going to conceal the top of the brow with the same shade. On this part, I told you to use your foundation shade when you get to when you start applying your foundation, or just leave it as is if you have already applied foundation before doing your brows. So on this part, I'm going to go ahead and use this exact same shade to do the top part of the brows. Okay, so you can see the final result of both. So which part do you like better? Let me know in the comment section below, guys. On this side, which is the do side, the brows are very natural and effortless, and this part is just too much. Like, it's too thick, it's too drawn on, like it doesn't look natural at all. But obviously if that's your style, well, I'm not judging you. I'm not judging you. I'm just saying, like, you know, this just looks better. Anyway, yeah, that is all for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel as well. Click the bell button beside the subscribe button. That way, whenever I post a new upload, you'll be the first to know. This is the second part of this series that I started last week. The next part of this series is going to be eyeshadow application. So yeah, I hope you learned one or two things. If you have any questions, please put them in the comment section below, and also don't forget to share this video with your friends, your family, your loved ones, your enemies, everybody. If your enemy is the one doing their brows like this, just share it. That way you're not saying anything. You just share it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye. Mwah.